All right, so here's the first revision question. I want everyone to take down the question. And last week I showed you guys how to do a question just like this one. The aim is to find the mean, and it's a table form of data. So turn back in your notes quickly. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to take down the question and work it out and send an answer on the chat. Okay, guys, so good luck, and I await your answers. Just not 1 second, guys. All right. For those who need a little jump start, right? To find the mean, this was the formula that I gave you all whenever you have table data and they have a frequency involved. It's sigma fx divided by sigma f. All right, so I hope that jogs your memory a little bit. The first step, right? Remember, well, what you are measuring is X. So today we are measuring the mass of rocks, right? Which is in kilograms. Now, you notice it have a range. The mass of the rocks, right, is from 5 to 20. So it seems like you have two values for X. But remember, last week I showed you that whenever you have two values for X, or you have a range, what you need to do is find the midpoint. Now, I was being nice in this question, and the examiner sometimes is being nice, right? He actually put something, a heading, a column called what? Midpoint, which kind of pushes you in the correct direction. So you'll be, how you say, encouraged to find the midpoint. So he kind of assisting you, but sometimes in the exam, there will not be a midpoint column, okay? There will not be a midpoint column. You would obviously, you still have to find what? The midpoint. So how do you find the midpoint? Again, you add the two values and you always divide by 2. Always, always. So 5 plus 20 is 25. 25 divided by 2 is 12.5. So let's see if you got the midpoints correct first. I'm going to find the midpoint of all the ranges. 21 plus 40 is 61. 61 divided by 2 is 30.5, right? 41 plus 50 divided by 2 is 45.5. And 51 plus 80 divided by 2 is 65.5. How much of you all have the midpoints correct at least, right? Right. So here's the thing, right? The midpoint is the actual X values now, not the range, right? The midpoint is the actual X values. So let's find the Fx column. Remember, according to the formula, we have to take F and multiply by X and then add that up, because Fx means F multiplied by X. So obviously F is the frequency. So we're going to take 4 and multiply it by 12.5, right? So we just multiplying these two, multiplying these two, multiplying real simple stuff. 12.5 by 4 is, I'm going to use a different color so we easier to talk it through. I'm getting 50 here. 1 by 30.5 is 30.5. 45.5 multiplied by 5 is 227.5, and 65.5 multiplied by 3 is 196.5. You all can agree with those values also, right? I take the F and multiply it by the X. Great. So now, according to the formula, let's add up everybody in the Fx and let me add up everybody in the F, because the top says we must sigma all the Fx values. That's the green values. So let me get something looking a little bit different. Let's see. 50 plus 30.5 plus 227.5 plus 196.5. I hope I get this correct. I did it kind of fast. I got 504.5. Anybody could agree with that? I'm hoping I have it correct. Hoping I have it correct. right? I've seen people saying, yes, they got it, right? So let's add up the regular boring F column now, right? That's, well, I don't think I need a calculator for that. I'm getting 13. So to find the mean, we take 504.5 and divide it by 13. So 504.5 divided by 13. Remember, I always encourage people to do what? Go to 2 decimal places, but I'm not going to fight about it today. So 38 point anything, and you have to put kilograms because it's kilograms we are measuring to get full marks in the exam, right? So like I said, I'm not going to fight about the decimal places. 38 point anything will do. So I know some of y'all might just round it off to 39. Still take it as correct, right? All right, so let's see what's on the next slide, right? Oh, we have a little game here before we move on to something looking like the new stuff here. So remember, it's a haunted farm, and these little haunted creatures, whenever it's nighttime, the ghosts and whatnot come out. So you all see it got dark there. So there's a little haunted donkey here with some evil eyes, and he has a little game he wants you to play, right? What's going to happen? The eggs are going to fall out of that crazy device. Some are going to land on the grass, and some is going to land on the hay. Choose one, grass or the hay, the green grass or the hay, and whichever one has the most eggs wins. There are 7 eggs in whatever that's supposed to be, the cylinder, the egg holder. I don't know, right? Right, so the class is mixed, but which I expect. Some people are saying more as is going to land on the grass and more is going to land on the hay. If you lose your game, if you lose the game, the farm takes your soul. And have a little animation for it and whatnot. All right, let's get started. Let's see what happens. First, 1 egg disappears and it goes on the grass. So 1 for the grass, 1 egg leaves, 1 for the hay. All right. 1 more for the good. The hay gets a second one. The grass gets 2. All right. The tension is building. Hay is 3. Oh, the grass is also 3. Where would the last egg go? And the winner is the grass. So for those who chose the grass, you win. For those who lost, this is supposed to be your soul, and now the farm takes your soul. All right. Pretty graphic there. All right. So here we have a very strange looking question, right? And this question, sometimes it comes for CXC, and sometimes it comes for your Form 2 or Form 3 exam. It's called the NCSE exam, right? It's a pretty easy question. It's just a little long. I don't know if you all know what a tally is. You ever saw those old-time cartoons, like when somebody is in a prison or whatnot, they just count how much days they're in the prison? Like 1 stroke means 1 day, 2 strokes means 2 days, 3 strokes means 3 days, 4 strokes mean 4 days, but for the 5th stroke, they just cross it out. The line being used to cross out is the 5th one. So what happens in a question like this? The examiner gives you a list of numbers. I will be doing the majority of this question for you guys, right? So just pay attention for the time being. You don't have to take it down. You'll notice that it have a tally here and a frequency. The tally and the frequency is almost the same thing. You'll notice you have 2 strokes here, and what number you have here for the frequency? 2. You notice you have 3 strokes here. What number they put here? 3. Where did they get the 2 and the 3 from? The number of books, right? Like how much number ones it have. When we go through the list of numbers, We have one number one and two number one. So it have two ones. So that's why they put two strokes, or your frequency is 2. How much number twos it have? When you go through here, how much number twos it have? It have 1, 2, it's supposed to have a third one, 3. That's how they get 3 strikes. 1, 2, 3. So your frequency is 3. Remember, your frequency is the amount of times something will happen. Do you all think this question will take a lot of time in the exam? Well, what do you all think? Will it take a yes? Because you have to, like, to fill out the number 3, you have to look carefully and see how much number 3s it have now. And it is real eat time in the exam. And of course, it's so easy to make a mistake in the exam because you have so much numbers in front of you and you're nervous already. You might not have slept the night before the exam, so you're not focused, right? You think you all could just draw this table and complete the table for me? Count how much number 3s it have, how much number 4s it have, number 5s, and so on. It will take a little time, right? But try it, right? And once you get the table completed, it's a regular boring question, just like the one on the previous slide. Right. So now it's we filled out the tally table, we have the frequency, the books is X, and now they're asking you for FX. So you're taking the frequency value, right? You want to know how they got the 2 here? They said F by X, 2 by 1 is 2, 3 by 2 is 6. So they ask you to find, you eventually have to find what the mean, right? Which is this same formula from the last slide, okay? So fill out the missing values here, and then find the sigma of the fx column, and then find what? The sigma of the f column, and divide them. Okay? We'll be going to answer all the part B and part C and things just now. But remember, they ask you to find the mean in part 2. So let's just get that out of the way one time, and everything else will be easy after. Filled out. So let's see. 5 by 3 is 15. 6 by 4 is 24. 7 by 5 is 35. 4 by 6 is 24. And 3 by 7 is 21. All right. I wish they had given us a little bit more space underneath here so we could have added up and put the answers, but I guess the examiner wasn't feeling too generous. So let's add up everybody in the fx column, and that will be our top value. Let's add it up. 2 plus 6 plus 15 plus 24 plus 35 plus 24 plus 21. Now, I hope I did it correct. I get in 127. So my top value is 127. And the frequency, when we add up this, we suppose to get 30. So divide it and you have the mean. And I'm getting, I hope you've seen this on your calculator, 4.23, and it's books they're measuring. So you can probably just put the word books after, right? It's just an average, right? 4.23 books. Right? Yeah, you should write the word books because that is what we are measuring here. Right? Just in case you get a grumpy examiner. Right? For part 1, how many books did we have in total, right? Baliram, check it back. Our real show is 127, right? Anybody disagrees with the 127? Now is the time to let me know. But real people got 127, and I double checked it on my end, right? So, right, like I said, sometimes you're just sleepy and you just make a little mistake, right? So what's the total amount of books? Any answer for that has to be 30 because frequency, when you add up the total frequency, you get 30. And I guarantee if you add up all the numbers on top, you will get 30. So it have 30 types of 30 books in all. For part B, what's the modal number of books? How do you find mode again? Mode is the one with the largest frequency. Which one has the largest frequency? And 7 is the largest frequency. Look at it. Look at your frequency column, and the largest value is 7. That 7 is what? Affiliated with the 5. So 5 books is what? The modal number of books. 7 is not the answer. 7 is directing you to the answer, which is 5. All right. So, right. The last part of the question is the mean, right? That was the last part to ask you to find the mean, right? Remember, we found the mean. So 4.23. Yes, and just to answer one question, yes, the harder method of doing, the more powerful method, I shouldn't say harder, the more powerful method of doing pie charts is the cross multiplication method, right? All right, so we went through this last week. I'm not going to go through that. Right. So this is where we ended class last week. So apparently somebody went to catch fish, right? And they catch 20 perch fish. I have no idea what a perch fish looks like. A bream and a carp, right? And we're supposed to draw a pie chart to depict the situation. Now, what's going to happen? Each fish is going to take up a certain amount of degrees or a certain angle on the pie chart. So let me just put the word angle here. A-N-G. I always mix up angle and angel, right? So here is supposed to be the angle. Now, quick question. How many fish were there in all? By just reading the question and just quickly add it up on your calculator. How many fish were caught in all? You have 10 perch, 23 bream, and 39 carpfish. Right? So let me just put total amount of fish. How much is the total? Everybody is sending the answer on the chat. When you add up 10, 23, and 39, we're getting 72 what? Fish. Now, a circle is how much degrees? Like if you were to add up all the angles in a circle, how much would you get? That's a primary school question, right? It's 360 degrees. So here's the thing. What we have, how you say, you call this a relationship. If all the fish is 72, then 72 degrees is supposed to represent the whole pie chart, right? So we could draw a little relationship like this. I like to use the cross for this. Everyone draw up a small cross like this and put fish on one end and angle in the other column. Because it's two things we're already measuring here or comparing here. No? Each fish is going to be represented by a certain angle. So you want to kind of find a relationship between fish and angle. Okay. So drop a little, what's called that again? A little T there. Right. Tell me if this makes sense. On the first line, in the first row, I'm going to put a relationship, something that we're sure about. Is it fair to say that all the fish, which is 72 fish, is 360 degrees? Does that make sense? Because all the fish is 72 and all the angles in the circle is 360. So 72 fish is represented by 360 degrees. Right. So here's the thing now. Let's do the perch. Let's see how much the perch will take up. How much perch do we have? We have 10 perch. What if 72 fish is 360 degrees? Then 10 fish should occupy an angle also. What is the angle? We don't know. So we put what? X. Can you all cross multiply to solve for X for me? Cross multiply and solve for X. And that will give you the angle for the perch. Everyone should be really, really good at cross multiplication. We handled all of this last term, right? Right. If you're too sure how to cross multiply, just hold on for half a minute and I will show you how to do it. Someone said I did this last class. I agree that I did this question last class, but I use a totally different method. Remember, I had promised to use a different method today, which is the method in front of us. Okay? All right. So let's cross multiply here. I'm going to multiply 72 by x. I always cross multiply the diagonal with the x first. That's just my preference. Okay? So 72 multiplied by x, I'll do the work in here. 72 multiplied by x is 72x. I put my equal sign and then I multiply the other diagonal. 360 multiplied by 10 is 3,600. Remember, we want to solve for who? X. This 72 is a multiply. Throw him across, it becomes a divide. And let's see who's right. Where's my calculator? 3,600 divided by 72. I'm getting 50 degrees. The perch is 50 degrees. So when we draw in the how you say, the pie chart, we have to approximate 50 degrees for the perch. Now, this method is just going to be repeated with slightly different values. I give everybody else 10 seconds just to take down what's on the screen there. And then we're going to work out for the bream. And then we're going to work out for what? The carp. For those who think you could handle it from there, you go ahead. Eh? For those who are a little bit confused, and just hang around a little bit. Right. So let's see here. We start back now. We're going to calculate for the bream. So erasing this, and this here, right? Now remember, for the bream, it's slightly different values, right? The first relationship still holds. 72 fish is represented by 360 degrees. The bream is 23 fish, and we want to figure out what angle that represents. So started back now, cross multiply and solve for x. Say 72 by x is 72x, and 360 by 23. And you're just repeating the procedure with different values. That's all you're doing. So 72 by x, well, that's easy, is 72x and 360 by 23. 360 multiplied by 23 is 8280, right? 72 is a multiply. Throw it across, you get a divide. Let's see what we get for x here. I am getting 115 degrees. So it's 1, 1, oops, that's a terrible color there. 115 degrees. Right. And the last one is the carp fish, right? I think you all get the idea here. It's the same exact concept here, right? For the carp fish. Carp is what? 39, and we want to figure out x. So quickly, that's 10 seconds and 20 seconds. Cross multiply and solve for x. Right. A piece of the work in here, that's one. Once again, it's 72 by x. You're getting 72x. And 360 by 39. Got a huge number here. 144.0. 72 is a multiply. Throw it across. You get a divide. And I'm getting 195 degrees. All right. 195. Okay. So how to say remember, I know I'm not asking you all to use a protractor here today. I just needed to kind of like approximate the values, right? Approximate the values. Okay, great. So remember last week, I can let me just draw a little dash line here. I dividing up the circle. I dividing up the circle into 90 degrees. The first one is about what? 50 degrees. Now, if 1/4 is 50 degrees, right? In 90 degrees. And this is about 50 degrees here. Everyone can kind of agree with that. Because if here is 0 and here is 90, right? 50 is kind of in between the 0 and 90, right? So I will call this what? 50 degrees, and it's perch. I'll write the word perch there. The brim is about, let me see, 100, and it will be easier to do the cap next, because how much is 180 degrees? And 180 degrees is half of the circle, and half of a circle, 90 plus 90 is what? 180. So 195 could just be a little bit more than that. Think about it like this. Oops, sorry. Right. That will be 180 degrees, and 195 will just be a little bit more. So this angle here would be what? 195 degrees, and that would be the cap. And obviously the remaining part will be the 115 degrees. The remaining part is 115 degrees, which is the brim. Obviously, in the exam, you're going to have to use a protractor to do it super properly. You can draw an approximation of the answer. If you wish, I'll give you a half a minute. You can just take, if you have nothing to draw a circle, just run in the kitchen quick, get a teacup, and draw a circle. All right? All right, so it's the farm scenario again. Remember, the monsters come out at night. Place is getting dark. What's gonna happen? That's a scarecrow there. Only one of the birds will be left on the log, because the bats are going to get them, right? The scary horror bats are going to get them. So which bird do you think will be alive at the end? I'll label it A, B, C, or D. Which bird do you think will be alive? Right? So the class is mixed. So far, the most popular one is B. I don't know why. I can't remember who was actually going to win this one. So long ago, I did this one. All right, so let's go. Let's see which bird. The first bat comes down. Oh, it's A. A is the first one to go. Right? Bye-bye, A. So if anybody chose A, they're out of the game. Next to go is D, the bat there. Next on the list is, I'm not too sure who getting picked up there. Oh my God, they all lost. However, just now, let's see if anything happens. The bat drops down. So A is the winner. If anybody chose A, they won. The bat rejected A. And we have the reason there. So congrats to those who won. Yeah, yeah. Always for those who lost, the haunted farm gets your soul. All right. All right, so here's what I want you guys to do, right? I don't need the pie chart kind of small, right? But believe me, the question is still doable. You all, for this one here, petrol, right? Petrol. You all see the symbol for 90 degrees here? That is all you really need to know in order to get out this question. I'm not asking you all to write down the question, but you think you all could do A, B, and C, and just send the answers for me on the chat. That's all I'm asking you to do. Don't write down the question. Try the question instead. I give you all 5 minutes to produce some answers. What did she spend the most amount of money on, right? Now, the biggest portion here is food. You can clearly see that from the pie chart. So the answer for that one was food, right? I don't think I need to get into that one. A lot of people got this one wrong. What fraction of the money was spent on petrol? First of all, a circle is how much? 360 degrees, right? Isn't it petrol 90 degrees? Because you see the 90-degree symbol. So isn't it 90 divided by 360, which is a quarter? But we know 90 degrees is quarter of a circle anyway. So the answer is a quarter, not 1/8 or 1/6. I'm not too sure. But for those who got it wrong, you think you understand it? Right? So it's just part C I'm waiting on, right? They want to know how much money she spent in all, right? If $25 was spent on petrol, how much money was spent in all? And believe it or not, for the last part, you can actually use the cross to help you. I'll help you a little bit. Money and the angle here, because that's the two things you want to compare, right? Take half a minute. First of all, we need a relationship. Remember, the examiner told us the cost of the petrol. They just said it in the question. The cost associated with the petrol, I know they use pounds, but I just put the dollar sign, is $25, right? And the angle representing petrol is 90. So that means 90 degrees is how much money? $25. Everyone agrees with that? Because according to the information the examiner gave us, $25, which is the petrol, is being represented by 90 degrees. The question is asking, how much money did she spend in all? So when I hear the word all, that means the whole pie chart is all. Isn't the whole pie chart 360 degrees? So how much money would be represented by that? All you have to do is cross multiply and solve for x, okay? So I always like to cross multiply the one with x in it. 90 by x is 90x. And 25 by 360, 25 multiplied by 360 is 9,000. You want to solve for x. 90 is a multiply, throw it across, you get a divide, and you're easily going to get what? 100. But it's money you're finding, so it'll be $100. And well, some people just did it the other way. If petrol is a quarter, and the whole thing is 4 quarters, but then they just took what, the 25 and multiplied by 4. That would also give you the correct answer. I guess that's the primary school way of doing it. right? So, and by the way, this was a past paper question. This was a CXC past paper question. I can't remember which year. It wasn't this easy. This wasn't hard at all, right? And of course, this could come for form, definitely come for form 2 and form 3 in the end of term exam. Definitely, definitely. All right. So here's another question, right? You don't have to take it down. Just work out part A and part B and send the answers across to do today. All right, let's see what's going on in this scenario here. Oh, I'm going to give you a list of words. Which of these words do not, one of them doesn't belong with the other? And I want a reason why. It have 5 words there, but one of them doesn't belong. What? And I need a reason why. Alligator, camera, material, casual, and salmon. Think hard on it. It took me a while to figure this one out. So, Julian, you have a reason why? You're correct, but you need to have a reason why. Ram Logan, you're correct, but you need a reason why. All right. Good guesses, good guesses. But this was the correct answer, guys. It's salmon. All the other words have 2 A's. Salmon is the only one with 1 A. It took me a while to. I got this one on the internet, right? So this isn't my own original puzzle, but it took me a while. I actually had to read to search for the answer. I wasn't able to get it out. All right, let's move on. There's your soul being taken. All right, so this one here is worth doing. Good luck. There's no need to take down the question. Just work it out and send the 3 missing answers. Good luck. 2 things we're already measuring here, right? Well, we're comparing at least, right? So it have, yeah, good. Well, let's move this around a little bit so we can get it word. Right? So CHILD, well, children, CHILD, that's the abbreviation for children. And then we have the angle. So we have a very, very firm relationship between the amount of children and the angle for sure. That's the first line. We notice this, the vanilla is already filled out completely already. They said when the angle is 90, it represents 12 children. So you can be sure about that now. 90 degrees represents 12 children. So you could use that for all of them, right? 90 degrees, you can be sure represents 12 children. So for the mint, they gave you the angle. The angle is what? 45. And they want to know how much children that represents. So you just do what? Cross, multiply. 90 by x is just 90x. And 12 by 45 is 540, right? The 90 is a multiply, throw it across, you get a divide, divided by 90, and some, well, real people got 6. So the answer here is 6. Right? And I know some of you all just said 45 is half of 90, so you're half the 12. Well, I mean, that's good reasoning also, right? But you can use good reasoning like that when the number is easy. But suppose the numbers were harder, right? Like in the second case, okay? Right? Right, so I'm giving everybody a few seconds just to send the answer for the next. So it's two things for the strawberry we're still measuring, right? It had the children and the angle represented. Now, we real sure that from the vanilla, 12 children is represented by 90 degrees. So for the strawberry, they did it the opposite way. They gave you the amount of children. So the amount of children was 14. So you put it in the children column. And you want to figure out what angle represents that. So it's just a cross multiplication question again. 12 by x is 12x. And 90 by 14 is 1260. We want to solve for x. Throw across and multiply, you get a divide. And let's see if you guys are correct. Yep, 105 degrees. So this one is 105 degrees. Look for your mistakes, and take right? Take a half a minute to do the next one, right? Remember for this, for those who didn't catch it, remember for the strawberry, we real sure about the relationship from the vanilla. This explicitly said 12 children is represented by 90 degrees. So that's our relationship. The strawberry now, they gave us 14 children. So I put the 14 here and we're trying to figure out the angle. So we cross multiply to get x. Right, so the chocolate is being worked out. Vanilla. So now CHILD and the angle here. According to the vanilla relationship, something we can be real sure about, 12 children is represented by 90 degrees. For the chocolate, they gave us how much degrees? 120. So we put it in the angle column and we're trying to figure out how much children that represents. Once again, just cross multiply. 90 by x is 90x. 12 by 120 is 1440. This here is a multiply, throw it across, you get what? A divide. So let me see how much we got there. I got 16. The answer is 16 children. Right? So cross multiplication saves the. All right, let's go. Right? It's very important to always have a relationship, right? But when I say a relationship, the examiner or common sense have to at least give you a relationship at the beginning. Remember, the examiner gave us this for vanilla, all the information for vanilla. So you could be 100% sure 12 is equal to 90. You cannot do the cross multiplication unless you have a sure relationship to compare everything to. Right? All right, so let's go. All right, so try this one, right? Good luck with this one. You can use a calculator in CSEC. Right? Good luck with this one, guys. Let's find that relationship. So it's two things here, the number of students and then what? the number of people in the circle, well, the number of students and the angle. So this here, students, and of course, they're using an angle to represent the amount of students. So they said 5 students said that they prefer walking. So walking is over here, and what angle is being represented for walking? 30 degrees. So tell me if this makes sense. 5 students is represented by 30 degrees because the examiner basically said that, well, not said that, he depicted that in the situation. He said 5 students prefer walking, and look at it. The angle to represent that was 30 degrees. Now they're asking how much people had in all. So they're talking about the entire circle. They want to know how much people or students had in the entire circle. An entire circle is 360 degrees. How much people does that represent, or how much students does that represent? For those who didn't know what to do, you think you can finish it off for me now? Cross multiply and take one more shot at solving for x. Let's try it one more time. Let's see. 30 by x is 30x, and 5 multiplied by 360 is 1800. Throw across the 30, which is a multiply, you're going to get a divide, and yeah, you're going to get 60. So 60 students in all. Right? Right, for those, okay, for those who want to screenshot it, feel free. I know some of you all didn't. So let's go. All right. Oh, so let me show you how this one works, right? It have 3 ghosts, and they're going to float up into the air. It's 7 moves. Which ghost will be the highest? Well, I'll just call them A, B, and C. It have 7 moves, and whichever ghost floats to the highest wins. So, let's see. First ghost, that's how he floats high. That is move 1. Move 2. The middle ghost is in the lead. Third ghost, oh, the third ghost looks like a winner here, right? 4 moves. 5. That other ghost moved down. 6. It was the middle ghost. That's 7 moves, guys. It's the one with the mustache. Ghost B1. Right? He's the highest ghost there. Right? Now, if you want more practice in statistics and whatnot, right? You all can more than check my the maths classroom. If you scroll down to the bottom, remember I have all the topics in video format, right? Remember you can find almost any topic there. So if you scroll down in the maths classroom, just look for my statistics videos, and you'll see the videos I made some years ago with different examples and whatnot. Okay. Oh, all right. And also, YouTube is very resourceful. If you're looking for help, more questions on statistics like pie charts, just type in CXC pie charts questions on YouTube, and you'll find tons and tons of worked out examples you can practice. Right. So, guys, what's the time there? All right. It's almost 8:30. I know you all are tired. So, have a good night, and I'll see some of you all tomorrow for the maths class. Okay. So take care, guys. Have a good one.